The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I'm so ready to fall in love with this game like millions of others have. I was around and playing games when the original game released, but I didn't really hear about it until Skyrim came out, and besides the 5 hours I have on Steam, I've not really gotten into the game. With the game getting remastered and having better graphics than real life, I'd say now is the perfect time for me to jump in. I do remember being jump scared by the original creator menu. Didn't get me this time, so that's a major improvement. Trying to make something that resembles my channel's mascot. I think that will do nicely. I'm in prison some reason. You're gonna have to forgive me if I get any information wrong or do something silly. This is gonna be my first time getting through this game fully, so be gentle. Before we get further into the game, I'd like to take a minute to talk about today's sponsor, Opera GX. Opera GX is a browser for gamers like you and me and is so insanely customizable. From sounds all the way to themes. You can change up everything. I'm fairly new to Opera GX, and after being approached by them about this integration, I was pleasantly surprised by it. Unlock the power of GX mods in the GX store. Mix and match multiple different mods to have the most unique to you browser experience possible. For the sake of the video, let's go back in time and add this old school Oblivion wallpaper that has background music, browser sounds, keyboard sounds, and light and dark themes, as well as not just a wallpaper, but an animated wallpaper. Another thing the browser has going for it is its watching never stops goal, with video pop-out and built-in ad blocker to keep things rolling without having to stop and start all of the time. There's even an import tool that lets us quickly import all of our settings from previous browsers over to Opera GX, so making the change isn't as daunting. You just go to browser settings by hitting the gear icon, then hit synchronize, import bookmarks and settings, and you're good to go with the import. Simple stuff. Download Opera GX for free using my link in the description or pinned comment to give this wonderful browser a go. Thank you, Opera GX, for sponsoring today's video.
Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day.
It's my lucky day. The freaking Emperor is here to use a secret tunnel in my cell because it seems like assassins attacked his sons and he thinks he's next. I'm gonna leave through the same tunnel. Like I said, I'm a Skyrim baby. I'm doing a stealth archer for my first run. We're also playing on the master difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty currently in the game, so I'm expecting it to be rough. After the assassins get down here and into the tunnel, I'm told not to follow the blades and the Emperor any further. But that's okay, because a couple rat senseis bust through the wall, revealing a convenient way forward. I avoided the rats, running for one of the only things I remember about this game. A bow, sitting by this dead guy. Picked up some leather armor here too, so that's nice. That guy also had some arrows, so we're good to start popping off on these suckers. The next 20 minutes of the game have you running around underground, fighting rats and even zombies that slap me around pretty good, but didn't take me down, thankfully. Lockpicking is different in Oblivion compared to Skyrim. I wasted all of my lockpicks I'd found just trying to learn how this works. I did figure it out towards the end, but it was too late by then. I'll get better at that. Goblins were down here deeper into the area. Things got a little chaotic trying to deal with them. I do remember these logs that could be pushed down onto these guys. Another vague memory I have is of this stupid goblin witch kicking the crap out of me, so we'll have to be careful. Taking a shot, then hiding to avoid its spells is working pretty good. It's dead, and I caught up with the Emperor, who's still having assassin problems. I get to pick a birth sign now. They each give powers, or like the thief sign, start in bonuses to agility, luck, and speed, so I'll take that. While being cornered, the Emperor hands over the Amulet of Kings and says the Prince of Destruction mustn't get his hands on it, and I need to get it to someone called Joffrey, who knows where to find his last son. He's dead, an assassin got him. Me and a blade got revenge. Well, the Blade got revenge while I ran around in circles fearing for my life. The Blade told me where to find Joffrey, and I proceeded to exit the sewers through this epic-looking cave. I'm out. My next objective is to get to that location I was told the monk Joffrey was at. But traveling in Oblivion can be rather easy, actually. You can simply open the map and choose to fast travel to some places, including our current objective. Some people might not like that I'm getting around this way, but it's the way I want to play right now. Here's the monk.
As unlikely as your story sounds, I believe you. Only the strange destiny of Imperial Septim could have brought you to me carrying the Amulet of Kings.
Tells me Mehrunes Dagon is the Prince of Destruction and one of the Lords of Oblivion, and that I can find the Emperor's bastard son at a chapel in Kvatch, serving Akatosh, south of here. He gave me some gear for the roads, better leather armor, and some potions, along with a steel bow. Nice. Kavach can be traveled to directly from here too. So that's great. That doesn't look good. A gate to Oblivion is open at Kvatch, and I'm not sure I'm ready to be going running in there yet. Despite telling this guy I'm gonna help take the city back, I'm not gonna. I actually traveled over to the Imperial city for the first time. It's all rather overwhelming to take in as a new player, but I've spent some time exploring to see what's what and learning some new mechanics. Learned how to do this mini game where you try to raise an NPC's disposition. It looks like you want the persuasion attempts the character don't like to have less bars, and the ones they do like to house the most bars. Figured it out, easy enough. Doing that, I believe, will improve prices you get from merchants by haggling, and according to Google, will make it easy to get something done with NPCs, like giving up information. Figured out how alchemy works too. I didn't do much with it, but it's good to know for the future. That's day 2 summed up. I just looked around a lot. I'm back, Kavach, with an emptier inventory. I'm not feeling any more prepared, but I'm here. Gate to Oblivion is spewing out imp-looking creatures. And my word, does this thing look awesome. Let's go try and shut it down from the inside. More imps to deal with. I did get some help from a soldier that also wandered in here. He does a crap ton more damage than I do at the minute, and his help is appreciated. He's dead. I love that guy. I'm inside a tower trying to figure out how to do this. There were Dromora in here too that ended up handing me my first death. It snowballed after that. Death after death followed. I did manage to kill a lot of enemies, about 95% of them I made sure to kill, but at the end I made a dash to the sigil stone while being chased and jumped from the edge. To my death. Yep. I'm dead. Second attempt at touching the stone was successful. While a location was collapsing around me, I ran around avoiding the Dromora until I was shot back out of the gate to a much less red-looking Kvatch. This ungrateful sod wants more help.
For Kavach!
He wants me to help fight through the city. I did a little bit before heading back to the Imperial city for a minute. I wanted to spend my levels. To do that, it looks like we have to rest at a bed. So I rented a room at the Imperial city and got my head down. I'd made it to level 4, mostly pumping my agility, speed, and luck. Simply because that's the stats I already had a boost into with the signs and stuff I chose, so that must be helpful to the build I'm aiming for. Though I did learn what they all did just after by looking through the attributes menu, and yes, those did seem to be useful ones to invest into. Agility helps my bow damage and fatigue bar. Speed affects my movement speed, and luck helps with, and I quote, everything you do. Perks seem to be gotten automatically by raising skills like marksman. We already no longer consume fatigue while drawing my bow. I didn't even notice. Spent some more time around the Imperial city, just getting more familiar with things. I learned I had to repair gear in Oblivion. I kinda like having to manage armor and weapons. Alright, let's get back to Kvatch. Fighting through the city, clearing out these stupid imps and Dromora plaguing the place. Getting more comfortable with handling using bows. Trying to keep my distance, playing support best I can. I think my game bugged out a little. Either that or I'm missing something. The objective is to clear this area out, but I can't find any more on the outside, and all this guy says is,
Charge the courtyard! Leave none of them standing!
Going in, trying to progress alone, but I real quick did watch someone else do this on YouTube, and this part, they seem to have everyone run in with them. I don't know. I do not have that privilege. I did see where they went to see if I could do it alone and finish the quest. We can find this dead body by an Atronach and take the ring over to this screaming guy. Not really sure what was going on there, but Kvatch is safe again.
I heard about how you helped the guard drive the Daedra back. Well done.
Is the Emperor's son, Sean Bean?
If all this is part of a divine plan, I'm not sure I want to have anything to do with it.
Kinda sounds like Sean Bean. Leading Bean back to Joffrey, the house is under attack by the same assassins that were after the Emperor. They're after the Amulet of Kings. And they got it. You had one job, Joffrey.
Martin cannot stay here. We have driven them off, but they will be back once they learn of Martin's survival. Which they will.
We did take Martin, the Emperor's son, to a place called Cloud Ruler Temple, where Martin will be safe. It can be used to fend off armies, while only being manned by a handful of men, supposedly. Now for getting that amulet back. Joffrey thinks I should look around the Imperial city to find someone called Boris. He says he might have learned something about the assassins. Man, I know everyone's saying it, but this game looks amazing. Long day today, but before things kick off, let's spend our levels. Again, raising agility, speed, and luck. Met that guy Boris at the Imperial City and was told he's an expert on Daedric cults at the Arcane University here in the city. I'm to take a book I've acquired to her to see what she makes of it. I love the way Argonians look in this game. All the races really, but I love the Argonians especially. This one suggests we find some books to help. The books we're looking into come in 4 different volumes. The Argonian has only ever come across the first 2. She thinks that in the books, the writings will contain clues to the locations of the assassin's secret shrine to Mehron Dagon himself. Third book was gotten off someone in a bookstore, easily enough, by just threatening him. Terrible person, I know. The other was much harder to get. I met back up with this guy, and we sneaked through some sewers to get to a meeting the guy who gave the 3rd book was supposed to be at. Instead, we'll take his book to acquire the 4th book. But it was weird. I got spotted watching over the meeting with my bow and got the snot knocked out of me. After many failed attempts to kill everyone here, I managed to just pickpocket the book and leave without any trouble. The Argonian now wants me to meet back up with her tomorrow so she can have some time to look over things. I guess we're spending day 7 exploring then. I've done lots of fast traveling directly to locations right out of the gate. Or right out of the sewers. So doing some random just playing the game, exploring will be a lot of fun. Found the Way Shrine of Julianos. Seems like we can get some temporary buffs from this place. I also found a place called Sinkhole Cave that took way too long to get through, but it was a good time. Mostly just bandits here. Skyrim has stealth archers, and Oblivion, I'm noticing, has jump archers. I'm absolutely dodging hits by bouncing around these jerks, popping arrows off as I go. The biggest issues here were the dogs they had with them. Only thing that got me was the puppers. I was also not expecting this plank bridge to collapse under my feet, though I should have expected it with the bandit avoiding stepping on it. Looted the place and cleaned it out of all of the enemies nicely. Getting a quick hour's sleep in to spend a level again. And I'm getting that feeling you sometimes get where you feel like you're playing the game wrong. I'm trying. If I'm messing up or missing things, then I don't apologize and I'm not actually sorry. I'm having fun and that's all that matters. I made some healing potions. I don't seem to be using many, but I got a few extra. Seems like the cool looking Argonian isn't ready to progress the questline. I did try persuading her, getting her disposition up. No idea if that'll get that info quicker, but I tried. Just across the river from the sewers you escaped early on, I went into this place called Vilverin? Vilverin. Yes. This place looked different to anything I'd seen in Skyrim, and I had no idea where I was going or what I was doing in here. Besides cheesing these bandits, I know exactly what I'm doing with these suckers. I was in here for a while, like a really long while. It takes me a while to kill things and press on at the minute, but I'm getting there. I think everything's taking longer because it's my first go around. I'll be storming around this place once I get my first 1,000 hours rubbed out. Oh wow, that's expensive. I'll take it. And you know what? I think I've missed some things like this around the dungeon, so I'll have to run back through real quick in a minute. I think I might be done after this wizard. Ultimately, this place was a lot of fun to explore, but I swear I missed stuff. Ran through one more time, picking up these stones. They have a nice bit of value to them. There's an Oblivion gate out near the dungeon. I kind of want to explore it, but my inventory is jacked up on crap I need to sell. So a trip to the Imperial City market is due. Sold a load of things, getting up to nearly 2,000 gold before buying some repair hammers for the road and extra arrows. Slept to spend my level up too real quick. I need somewhere to store items real bad. I don't really want to throw out or sell any alchemy things in case I get into it more, and they weigh a lot. Really have no idea how to get a home yet. That Oblivion gate was guarded by mud crabs. I'd prefer to deal with Dromora than these devilish things. Let's explore this place. Like the first one, it was full of scamps and different kinds of Dromora. I guess the goal here is to collapse the place like the one in Kvatch. Oh, this is a weird looking thing. Not seen one of these before. They're like little fiery dinosaurs. Pretty cool. Got a little confused trying to get around this one. Turns out I missed this doorway around the side and spent 10 minutes trying to find where to go. I killed again about 95% of the enemies while trying to shut down this place. Trying to level my marksman and sneak skills so we can get around easier, staying undetected, and also take enemies down when we need to. But in the last area, I admit to running around in circles while touching the sigil stone, avoiding the Dromora until the place falls apart and we get sent out of the gate. That's my second one destroyed, with not too much difficulty. Got a level up from that adventure. I'm assuming 100 is the cap for these attributes, so we're getting close with agility and speed. Luck does seem to be much harder to level up. It costs more of the virtues you get from leveling compared to the other ones I'm increasing. Sold some junk in the city before heading for the Arcane University to chat with that Argonian again, who finally has some information for us.
I think I may have figured out the hidden message in Mainkar Cameron's books. Do you have the 3rd and 4th volumes with you?
He says the first letter from each paragraph of the books we brought her reads a secret and says to go the Green Emperor Way, the gardens around the Imperial Palace at noon, and I'll make a discovery. And I did! Found a location marked on a map on this tomb. It showed me the Dagon shrine they might have taken the amulet to. I feel like I'm a little lost on this part. Reading up on what's going on here, because I'm kind of confused. It looks like we'll find a book here that is a direct gateway to something called Mainkar Cameron's Paradise, a realm of peace and servitude that Dagon and the mythic Dawn seek to impose upon the world. Inside that paradise, we'll find the Amulet of Kings that was stolen from Joffrey. I really needed a recap there. This next part went pretty badly. I went to where the shrine was and actually got access to the shrine by pretending to play along as a new member of the Mythic Dawn. I had to give someone called Harrow all of my stuff before I was allowed in and was given this robe.
Hear now the words of Lord Dagon. When I walk the earth again, the faithful among you shall receive your reward, to be set above all other mortals forever.
I do get a dagger in here, so I can kill this Argonian as a sacrifice. I won't, but I could. I whipped the book and ran my butt out of this place as fast as I could, leaving my stuff behind. I'm assuming Harrow still has my gear. I'd like it back, so I'm not sure why I'm still moving towards Martin. Doubt I can do much without my bow, I guess. I didn't know quite how stupid I'd been just yet, but I returned the book to Martin, who wants to spend a few days looking over it, while I look into some issues with spies in the city of Bruma.
The gate guards have reported seeing strangers on the road for the past several nights. I cannot leave Cloud Ruler undefended while my men search the whole mountainside, but these spies must be eliminated.
I got a spare bow from the fort Martin's being housed at, along with some steel arrows, and went to return to Dagon's shrine to try to find Harrow. This was the biggest clusterfuck I'd been a part of in this game so far. It was self-created and all my fault, but all of the Mythic Dawn still here are causing issues. I couldn't find Harrow, and I'm not sure how I'd kill him even if I did. I decided I could always come back and take this place slowly when I'm stronger, so I left. The biggest things I lost was my gold, and I guess all of the alchemy ingredients I'd been saving up. I already have a bow that's the same as my old one, and I can buy some basic light armor in town. It sucks, and it's probably all down to the decisions I made, but hey, it's my first run. I'm sure I'll handle it better the more I play the game. I spent a load of time looking around the mountain areas for Harrow in case he followed me out, but I couldn't find him. Had to sleep and spent my virtue points on agility, speed, and luck, like always. The bad luck doesn't stop with day 12. As it rolls on into day 13, I ran down the hill to Bruma to look into the spy situation Martin asked me about earlier. I asked someone called Bird about it.
I've told my men to keep a sharp eye out, but I've had no reports of any strangers in town.
He says I should talk to someone called Chorrol, who's just come back from a trip down south. Travel isn't a thing happening much right now with the Oblivion crisis going on, so it's worth checking on him. Though I ended up seeing a dwarven bow for sale that I couldn't afford, so I attempted to steal it.
Stop! You violated the law. Since you lack the funds to pay the court, you must now serve out your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit.
I remember last time I was banged up in Skyrim, I was away for a week in-game. Luckily, Oblivion didn't have me put behind bars for that long. My cellmate doesn't seem too friendly either.
Go away.
Sleeping away my jail time takes me to day 14, so it was just a day I was here. Is it longer for worse crimes? I have no idea. For some reason that Ural person's door is locked, and I can't chat with him. Maybe I'm supposed to break in. I turned my back on Bruma, at least for a minute. I wanted to hit a random location for 1, to explore, and for 2, to get a little bit of gold built back up. I didn't expect the location I'd find to be so... Uh-oh. That's a monkey-looking thing. Oh, it's a troll. Okay, I thought that was straight up a gorilla. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I didn't really expect the first location I'd find while exploring to be both small and a nice quick cash grab. I only had to deal with some little goblins and found an elven warhammer worth 800 gold. That's not what I can sell it for, but after messing with the disposition of this guy I just tried to rob, I could sell it for a nice 334 gold. I would have been able to afford that dwarven bow. That's what I was hoping to do here with that exploration trip, is gathering funds to buy it, but it's no longer for sale. I guess me stealing it might have played a part in that, but oh well. I'll keep an eye out for another one now that it's been showing up in merchants' inventories. The Ural person's not a he, it's a she, who's very much causing trouble all of a sudden in town. A guard and me teamed up to kill her. I looted the corpse and used the key I found to check out the building she was hiding out in. I found some spy plans to take back to Joffrey, and I did kill a second spy here too. Joffrey is pleased the 2 spies are dead and sends me to Martin, who's made progress with that book we stole from the cult. They'll take us to the paradise where we can find the Amulet of Kings. He says to get access to the paradise, we need 4 items for a ritual. One of them being a Daedric artifact. I'm told to read a book called Modern Heretics in the fort if I need help finding one. And I do need help. The book describes the location of the Shrine of Azura. Perhaps I can get my hands on an artifact there. I made it. It rests to the northeast of the map, but I'm not seeing much to do here. Ooh, a will-o'-the-wisp. Is this what I need to mess with? Oh, is it? Wow. I need to go change my clothes. All of the NPCs here don't seem to trigger a quest, so I started fiddling with their disposition. That worked with this dark elf who says if I wish to speak to the lady, visit her shrine at dawn or dusk and leave her an offering of glow dust. Google says I can kill a will-o'-the-wisp to get glow dust, but to kill one, I need to use either magic, silver, or enchanted weapons. I have none of those things when it comes to using a bow, but alternatively, we can just buy some glow dust from the alchemy merchants, which I did at the Imperial city. Or so I thought I did. See, I arrived back at the Shrine of Azura very confused. I didn't have that glow dust in my inventory I just bought. See, I didn't notice the shopkeeper saying she can't do that price. And that's because I messed around with the haggling slider to make the cost less. But I'm not good enough at speech to be able to do that yet. Some stupid assassins plaguing the Imperial city today. Bam. Got the last shot. We have to drop this down and pay a little more for the glow dust. I'm back again, and this time I can give the glow dust at dusk or dawn to have a chat with her.
I have seen your name, traveler, and heard it whispered in twilight. I ask a service which holds promise of fame and reward.
She wants me to kill some of her followers in the gutted mine to release them from their vampire existence. I'm feeling hugely underpowered here. The vampires, from what I read, have a 20% resistance to normal weapons. Silver weapons are an exception and can still do their base damage to them. I don't have silver weapons or silver arrows yet. I was cheeky though, luring them back to the shrine to get the help of the Azura followers lingering around to get the bloodsuckers killed. One of these vampires is an archer, and killing it gave me this enchanted bow of weariness. It does more damage and has a damage fatigue on strike enchant. What an upgrade. Got the last one killed and received Azura's star for my services. A Daedric artifact. It's basically a reusable soul gem. Martin will be happy with that, but first, we're going back to town. Selling items at stores. I got some nice expensive things to sell in there, and we got some chainmail armor to replace some of my leather stuff. Another thing I did today that was a pretty big deal was getting agility maxed out. Speed's not far behind it. I'm gonna have to start investing elsewhere soon. Handed over the artifact to Martin and was told to go see Joffrey again to help out with more issues down at Bruma. There's been word that an Oblivion gate has popped up outside the city. I'm to run and meet Captain Bird so we can help show them how to handle the gates. Now, these gates do take a while, but we had plenty of help with this one. Bird can't die, and it seems like we have 2 additional soldiers to help fight through the gate. They die, but it's the thought that counts. This one's enemy supply was mostly made up of fire atronauts. I made it to the inner area of the tower that was filled with Jamora, however. I can jump for days. I need a safe place to retreat. I simply look up, giving the sigil stone a feel and watching as the Oblivion plane crumbles around me.
It was an honor to serve with you, sir. Now that I've seen how it's done, I think my guardsmen and I can handle any new gates that open near Bruma.
My inventory is full as all get out. And well, everywhere is within walking distance when you're carrying 1 million coin worth of gear. But in this case, Bruma has my back with merchants, so I don't have to go too far. This feels illegal. See, I'm a Skyrim baby, so wearing 2 rings is weird, but I'm doing it. This is what my gear is looking like currently, if you're curious. The rings have reflect damage for the Ring of Retribution and resist normal weapons on self. They were for small fortune too by the looks of things. Started spam crafting potions today. I'd not been using many, like I said earlier, yet, but it's good to start leveling the skill, I'd think, so we can see the other effects ingredients have to make better ones later on. Leveled up and started putting some points into strength for the extra health and carry weight. I reported to Joffrey, who was pleased, but says we need to gather more allies for Bruma before it's hopelessly besieged. I should talk to the other rulers around the map to see if they'll help beef up Bruma. Martin has made some progress on that book while I was gone, but he can wait. Let's focus on helping that city. We have 3 locations marked on the map to head for to ask for help. Let's start with the Imperial city in the middle of them. Inside the Elder Council's chamber, I found this guy.
I've been pleading for troops for Cyrodiil for weeks, but the generals assure me that the entire Imperial army is already fully committed. Besides, I'd have a full-scale political crisis on my hands if I tried to pull any troops out of the provinces.
He refuses to help at the minute. Says they'll have to fend for themselves with all that's going on. On a more positive note, over in Castle Chorrol, to the left of the map, it looks like they might be willing to help if I help them close an Oblivion gate just outside the city. This is easily the most confusing gate I've done so far. I spent a stupid amount of time in here trying to figure out where to go. There were giant gates to open up to make travel around the area easier, but I got so lost for so long. Just worked on killing what enemies I could find and keeping my eyes peeled for doors to take me to the sigil stone. Got my marksman up to level 75 today, which was nice. Now that I have a small chance to paralyze enemies with my shots. That's insane. This is actually very handy. Paralyzing shots means I can get off another 2 free shots if I hit my target before they get back up. Not gonna lie, I was in here for about 2 hours total. I started watching videos on YouTube on the Oblivion Gate and found out about this door way off to the side of the area that had an item I wanted. There were 2 Dromora I had to kill. One went down easy enough, but the second one caught me when my bow was broken, and you can't repair items with hammers while enemies are around, so I fled. Fled through the gate and back to the regular world. Even if I was able to repair it in there with no enemies around, I couldn't have, because magical items can only be repaired by apprentice armorers, and I'm not there yet. I'm also not familiar with the town, the gates nearby, so I woke the town, and it took me a while to find the fire and steel store where I can ask this lady to repair it for me. Back in we go, but now I've encountered another problem. See, there's a locked door in here that needs a key to open. I'm guessing that second Dromora had. Took a long time to find it. I figured he was wandering around the area somewhere after he chased me off. I looked for ages and found him dead in the lava. Looted his corpse for the key and took a dive in the lava, just about surviving the dunk. Now we can open the door and take the path up to these lootable containers that had a bow that does so much more damage than my current bow. It's called Hatred's Soul and does 24 damage at the minute versus the Bow of Weariness doing 15 at this current point in time. Headed for the main tower and scaled to the top to this ledge. Took way too much exploring to figure out where I gotta go here, but I guess it's fine. I won't have this first time playthrough ever again, so bring on the confusion. This bow is awesome, by the way. Paired with the chance to paralyze enemies, I'm feeling pretty good here. Didn't stop me running around the top of the main tower after touching the sigil stone while the place crumbled around me, and that's the gate destroyed. Now this town will help Bruma, and I can even buy a home here for more gold than I can afford. 20,000 gold, to be exact. I best get the saving. Now for this town to the right of the map. I've not been here either. It looks pretty here though. Those pinky purple roofs. I love it. This place won't help until I close yet another Oblivion gate near the town. Look at how far I've come since the prison. I got a mithril helmet going on. Don't ask me where I found it. I have no idea. Maxed out speed today as well, so that's nice. Headed for the gate and went on in. This one's all downhill. Literally, not figuratively. Made it to the bottom and recruited the help of these soldiers who'd made their way through too. Into the tower we go, where it was a freaking bloodbath. The soldiers died, and I guess one was important or something. I had to take his ring from his body to show his dad proof of his son's demise. Speaking of demise, I met my maker about 32 times being stuck in a death loop. I quick saved at a really bad time where a Dromora was about to run me down. I did eventually make it away from that jerk and got the gate destroyed before the day ended. The father is obviously upset, but said I could keep the son's ring and also give me some gold for my troubles for reporting the demise. We also have the option to buy a home here, and it's slightly cheaper than the previous house option. I'm starting to do pretty good with gold now, too. 5,426 saved up, so maybe a house will be on the cards in the not-so-distant future. It looks like there's more than just those 3 towns we have to ask for help at Bruma. There's now 5. 5 more markers around the map. Let's go down to Leyawiin first, and maybe go across the towns in a line from there. I guess this is good to get me exploring cities, getting familiar with things.
Marius Caro, by grace of the Nine, Count Leyawiin. You are a stranger to me, but well met.
This one again wanted help closing an Oblivion gate. I might have to take a break soon and go do something else. I don't fancy doing so many gates back to back to back. But while I'm here, I'll get this one done. Or not. It looks like it's not loading in. Marcus says there's a gate here, but it's a normal sunny day. No red in the sky whatsoever. I was saved by Reddit telling me to go 100 meters away to make a new save. Load a previous save up, and then reload the save I just made and approach the gate. It's silly, but it worked. Guess this is my life today. Surely there's not one to do at every city. I think they're great, but I want something else to do too. Have to change things up a little bit. Go wander around, maybe. Who knows? This gate felt more straightforward than the previous ones to me. Lots of enemies to deal with, but I didn't feel as lost this time around. I'm also not sure how common crashes have been for other people while playing the game, but my word, has this game crashed a lot for me so far. It's like binge crashing too. It goes a while where it works fine, then bam! I can't play for more than 30 seconds without a crash. Despite that, I'm still having a good time. The gate's falling down around me while I run for my life from a frost atronach. Oh, 7,000 gold for the house here. I bet it's small and not great looking, but that price is hard to argue with for a first home. I'll hold out for a minute, but I did get an apprentice mortar and pestle to use now instead of the novice one. I found it somewhere. Or stole it. I'm not sure. I don't know any good mixing combos or see any of the already matching ones in my list, sadly. And it prompted me to run around collecting ingredients for future mixing. I caved and decided to head for the next town to gather more allies for Bruma. I'm gonna say it's another gate that needs shutting, but who knows? Might surprise me. Nope, it's a gate.
But with an Oblivion gate threatening Breville, I need all my soldiers here.
There's a house for sale here that's well within my budget. They keep getting cheaper, but I'm sure it's a dump. Who knows? Not me. This town is nice though. I like the bridges going around, and there's even an archery store called Archer's Paradox. Used it to buy some arrows and went for that Oblivion gate. That once again isn't spawning in. I did that save file trick, and there it is. I swear I'll do something else after this one. Slowly pushing through the Dremora and other beasts in here until I noticed my bow's almost broken. I can't repair it myself yet, so I'll have to leave the gate and come back. I went to the Archer's store. It had the little elf there repair it for me.
Take care.
I'm sure I'm missing a lot in these gates, and I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments. I'm just having fun here. I'm sure I'll learn new things for years to come, just like I'm still learning things about Skyrim. I can't help myself but to run around like a headless chicken after getting to the final room, avoiding the enemies looking silly while I pray the room collapses on me quickly. Told the leader of the town the gate's been destroyed and he agrees to help Bruma and do his part in seeing Martin through the Oblivion crisis. Oh yeah, I forgot. We were told Martin had made progress on what exactly the next item of the 4 needed is for getting to that paradise where the amulet was taken during the Dagon Shrine quest. He says we need the counterpart of the last item, the blood of a divine.
Unlike the Daedra Lords, the gods have no artifacts and do not physically manifest themselves in our world.
We need the blood of Tiber Septim himself, who became one of the divines. Joffrey helps me recover the armor of Tiber Septim, telling me I can find it in the shrine of Tiber Septim in the catacombs. The place became evil long ago, and nobody has returned from the place for ages. Spent my level up investing into strength and personality, so I'm better at bartering, and I'm off. I was on my way to the shrine, but I leveled acrobatics to the point where I get a really fun perk, allowing me to jump across water several times without falling through. I ditched the quest to go check it out. And yeah, this I can see being useful. As a very agile focused build, this will make making an escape near water a lot easier. I can even fire my bow while hopping around. Made it back up near that shrine we're heading for early morning day 26. I was hoping for something different than Oblivion Gate, and I wasn't disappointed. This place is riddled with skeletons on the outside. There's also these rune stones you can find around the map too that give you conjured weapons and armor. I found one earlier that gave me a melee weapon, like a mace, but this one gives a conjured bow temporarily. You can only use these once a day, I think, so I got to work clearing the enemies on the outside. Headed on in to find these ancient ghosts and wraiths to deal with that suck because they seem to straight up consume my arrows that hit them. Other enemies up until now have allowed me to reclaim my arrows on their corpse once they're dead, but not these guys. You have to free some blade soldier ghosts from being forced to defend the place, not letting anyone get to the shrine. To free them, you kill the undead blades. There's a few we have to free in here. They're trapped by the Underking, who's apparently no longer here. Just left his evil here to watch over the place. The enemies consuming my arrows means I only had enough ammo to free 2 of the blades before I had to leave to purchase more in town. And I'm back. We have 2 more blades to free. She's the first one, standing on a coffin while it couldn't get to me. Last one's a little distracted. Easy shots while it's smacking away on this ghost. Blade ghosts rid the darkness from the location and allowing us to progress through to get the armor of Tiber Septim. That looks awful goofy. I don't know, it looks cool, I guess, but it's heavy armor, so maybe not for me. That doesn't matter anyway, because headed back towards Cloud Ruler Temple and handed it over to Martin. While selling some things, I decided something. My inventory is struggling for space all of the time. I'm gonna go buy that very cheap house I seen for sale. I guess I could live here. Like I said, I kind of like it. It's a little run down, but the bridges and wear give it some personality. It's like an old rusty truck. Take my 4,000 gold, Terentius. Love the haircut, by the way. I'm now the proud owner of this dump. It looks like I have someone living on top of me, too. Inside's looking as you would expect. Not great. There's a bed to sleep and spend my levels. There's no storage in here besides this closet we can hide in from the Oblivion crisis. Terentius said we could get some upgrades from the Fair Deal store, but I can't afford any of the upgrades at the minute. So I went exploring. And found a cave being guarded by a minotaur that was surprisingly easy to kill. At least outside. If I was close quarters, I'm sure it would mess me up pretty good. Take that, sucker. The cave he was guarding was filled with a tribe of half-naked Argonians. Unless I'm missing something, that didn't seem to be much here. Instead, I headed for one of these places. There was one outside the sewers we tackled earlier, and I had a lot of fun exploring that one. This one was guarded by a troll. I got the help of some guards outside the town I now live at, and headed on in. This one was hugely different to the first one. It's different in the sense that enemies here are of the wisp and troll variety, and there is an insane amount of poison in the air. I was worried at first, but the poison's not too devastating. And again, surprisingly, I'm dealing with the trolls very easily. I'm killing them in 2 shots, somehow. I even had to check my difficulty, hadn't somehow changed from master, but nope. We're good. I'm hoping we can scavenge enough gold and loot here to afford an upgrade or 2 for our new home. Oh, a minotaur in close quarters was not a thing I wanted to deal with today. These guys give me dwarven centurion levels of fear, running from them down the halls, and I love it. So far, I'd say they're my favorite enemy in the game. Ah, crap. The chest at the end is locked, and I have no lockpicks. Google says I need to find somebody called Shady Sam around the Imperial City if I want to buy lockpicks. And, as a famous time traveler once said, now it's my turn, I'll be back. I'm having fun playing the game mostly blind. A lot of the time when I play new games, I find it fun to watch other people play and learn from them alongside my playthroughs, but I've not been doing it so much with this one. Googling the odd thing, like where to find lockpicks, or recapping a bit of the story I've already played for my terrible memory, is necessary sometimes. Shady Sam! I'd never have found you all the way out here, you shady mofo. He's around the edge of the Imperial City Wall and has 30 lockpicks to buy each day. I somehow never have these. In Skyrim, I can't get rid of them quick enough. It's probably because I'm new and suck at lockpicking. I'm back, chest. Now, was that trip worth it, is the question. I paid 180 gold for those lockpicks. I've not even attempted a hard lock before, so let's see how this goes. Aha! Broke. Only 5 picks. Oh, that was worth the trip. This'll pay for some upgrades. Secret doorway here, I missed 2. Ooh, one of these expensive stones. I'll take it. Sold all my crap and adjusted the haggling slider a little to get the upgrades for 981 gold each, so I can buy 2 of them. I got the storage and kitchen area upgrades. Was it worth it? No. No, it wasn't. But we now have some terrible storage. It's not much, but it's mine. I don't care how many comments I get about better or easier houses to get. This is my piece of crap, and I love it. Unloaded all of my potion ingredients, taking me down to 86 out of 330 carry weight. Man, that feels good. Wow, this place is pretty. I just traveled to Skingrad to get back to the allies for Bruma quests, but whoever I gotta speak to here will not leave this building, and it's locked. Spent some time exploring the town, looking around stores and chatting with townsfolk, and well, it's 1 p.m. and whoever's still in there is still in bed or something. So I left. I'll come back later. Kvatch is next, and it should be an easy one to ask for help since we helped save the city a few weeks back. Or so I thought it would be easy. See, there is now an insane amount of Oblivion monsters in the courtyard bashing on who I need to talk to. These gators were being a problem. It took a while, but I picked them off and asked this guy to stand with Bruma when need be. So the same thing that happened to Kavach doesn't happen there. And last up is Anvil. I rushed to talk to who's in charge before they went to bed for the night, but I was too late. Found her on her throne the next morning.
I would like to send help to Bruma, but I cannot risk weakening Anvil's defenses with that Oblivion gate open outside the city.
Of course, there's an Oblivion gate in a game called Oblivion. It's a shocker. No, I do enjoy them. I think I'd burned out a little doing the back-to-back was all. I've had a bit of a break though, so here we go. Right after I repair this bow, it's looking like it's gonna break soon. Or not! It costs more to repair it than I currently have saved. I'll take a steel bow and come back when I've raised the funds to repair my good one. These gates hold a lot of loot for us to sell, so I'll be fine. These Dremora, when killed and looted, only show these things to loot, but also drop their weapons on the ground that aren't shown in the inventory, and they sell for a nice chunk of gold. Selling a few of these means I can repair this better bow pretty quickly. I spent my level up too before going back in. Things are moving along nicely. This was the first gate I've noticed has been recycled. It's the same layout as another one I've been in. It seems identical, anyway, to one I did earlier, bar there being tougher enemies like these gators. I was worried about running out of arrows, missing shots, and struggling to find the arrows means bad news for my gate shutting business. It's about that time where I run around looking confused as heck, trying to touch a ball at the top of the tower anyways. Did that, got the gate explodified, and returned to Anvil's leader to tell them the job's done and to get Bruma some more help. The person at Skingrad is still hiding away in that building that I can't get into without trespassing. I'm not sure what to do here. If you're still watching by this point, I'm gonna assume you're enjoying the video. If that's the case, I'd appreciate a like. I love making these videos, and it lets me know you want to see more just like this one. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the support. Right, let's go see about getting the third item Martin needs to access the paradise while we wait for that guy to go touch grass. We need a crystal in another one of these Ayleid ruins. I did some research on them because I thought they were cool. The ruins belong to a long extinct race of elves known as Ayleids, who once ruled over Cyrodiil. This one had some goblins on the outside, which was promising. But maybe it would be nice and easy location, but nope. Found some dreaded zombies inside, and I have no idea why I'm doing no damage. Ran my butt through to the end, grabbing the crystal and killing this guy. I can't even see because he's so far away. Grabbed the key and escaped. Screw that place. I did buy some more upgrades for my home today. I got this reading area. It's pitiful, I know. Along with my new dining area. I can barely see what's changed. Oh, and something else cool that happened today. I did get alchemy up to the point where we can now see 2 of the effects ingredients give. So that's great for a newbie alchemist like me. It's day 34, overlooking Bruma from Cloud Ruler Temple. And today is the day we finish getting allies built up for the city. Right after I get this crystal to Martin and get told the final of the 4 items needed for paradise is a great sigil stone. To get it, he says we should allow the Mythic Dawn to progress with their plans to attack Bruma using an Oblivion gate. I'm not sure if getting more allies will affect the outcome or how easy this quest is, so I want to figure this last ally out. The one locked behind this door. I went talking to people in the county hall and talking to this guy about aid for Bruma. He goes off to get the count to deal with the matter. That explains it. He's a vampire, locking himself away 24/7. Or he just can't sleep and his eyes show it. Who knows? He won't help until I close this gate. It's a fun one. 2 towers at the front that have these levers to pull in each of them. They're connected by a bridge, and pulling both levers extend a new bridge out to the bigger main tower. This one was the first tower in a while where I didn't rush around the top. Picked off the fire and storm atronachs before going near the sigil stone. Took it all in too. Slowly approached the sigil and watched as the place crumbled to the ground around me with the enemies all dead. The Count offers his allegiances to Bruma, and that is everyone set to help the city if and when things kick off. And they are 100% about to kick off. We're to let the Oblivion creatures attack with a behemoth-sized gate so we can enter and take the Great Sigil Stone as the final item we need to gain access to the paradise where the Amulet of the Kings has been taken.
Martin would risk my whole city to gain a Great Sigil Stone?
Yes, he would. And so would I, lady. As you can tell, the men are ready for the fight that's about to go down. Martin rallies the troops and it's time to collect us a sigil stone. Remora storm from the gate just outside the city. We have to wait for 3 of these to spawn for the great gate to enter the fight. Then we run in while the soldiers continue to fight the enemies bleeding out. There's an indestructible Daedric siege engine right there. And we have 15 minutes to complete this quest, which stressed me out. Going by how long it took to get through a few of the previous gates, I thought it would be hard to get it done in that time. We take longer than 15 minutes, and the engine will make it to Tamriel, and Martin, along with the world, will be doomed. So I rushed my butt through this place with my pretty agile build as fast as I could. I didn't kill very much. I'm sure there's some good gear or loot in here I can get, but I don't care. I don't like being chased by that time limit. It did take a few deaths getting through, and there wasn't really much worth showing. It wasn't some big epic final gate completion, sadly. It was a Welshman freaking out trying to live long enough to get to see Elder Scrolls 6. Oh wait, that's my real life situation. Grabbed the Great Sigil Stone after what was probably 5 minutes in here and got shot out of the oversized demon gate. The engine didn't quite make it, thankfully, and it's the wreck where the gates were. But we have what we needed. Not a lot happened on day 36. Before we take on Paradise, I wanted to hit up some shops, find all of the potion ingredients I could find. Got alchemy up to the point where we can now see 3 of the ingredients' effects. I really want to start taking advantage of these things going forward. I got some damage health potions on hand to hurt enemies and restore health potions to heal me. Made it back to Cloud Ruler Temple early day 37, and we got the portal to Paradise open. Manca Cameron acts as an anchor for Paradise. Just as a sigil stone anchors an Oblivion gate in place. Killing Manca will allow me to leave Paradise, but there's no way back through until then, unlike the Oblivion gates, where we can just leave whenever we want. This place is full of potion ingredients, and it does look as pretty as I imagined. There are lots of atronachs to deal with, but I've gotten decent at taking them down, so I'm not worried about these guys. These freaky spiders are a different story, though. They're way too fast, and I hate them more than Brussels sprouts. Best way I'm finding to kill them is to get them distracted fighting the half-naked people around the plane and taking shots at them while they're busy. I had a Dromora called Kathitet. Yeah.
You speak directly, like one of my people almost. I'm glad I did not kill you immediately.
Which seemed to treat me with respect for how I fought his Dromora friends in the past. He offers me a choice to battle him or to do him a service. I chose to fight and got hit so hard by a lightning bolt I'm back in 2006 and the game's no longer remastered. Fast forward nearly 20 years and I'm finally setting up hotkeys. I got damage health potions on one and healing on another, using them to easily take down this Dromora. I got some bands I can wear to give me access to the flooded grotto's weird areas while wearing them. I'm in the Forbidden Grotto, where I get help from this blurry rock. No, not really. There's a member of the Mythic Dawn behind the oddly placed camera angle who's decided to help me get to Cameron. The trip took me through getting dipped into some lava while imprisoned, fighting off wards of Dromora with my new buddy, and finally out to where I met this guy.
You did not expect to see me again, did you?
I literally have no idea who you are. I do have something going on with my screen though. In third person I look smaller than these people, but in first person, bam! I'm so much taller than everyone and everything. Really weird bug, or is this intentional? I have no idea. I met with Manca Cameron and it's game on.
You came for the amulet? Take it then.
First few attempts, I had no hope in this fight. I thought it wasn't doable where I'm at with my build on this difficulty. I got blasted over and over again. But attempt after attempt, I did slightly better. Until the last try where I focused solely on Manka Cameron while running circles around the room, stunning him and taking shots when I could. All I have to do is kill the one guy. After that, the other enemies just die around me, and I can take the Amulet of Kings and loot the room before being sent back to Tamriel, just like what happens when you take the sigil stones in the Oblivion Gates. I'm still a giant. Martin's gonna break his neck trying to look me in the eye, but he's got the amulet and now can take his place as the Emperor. I'm escorting him to the Imperial Palace in the city, where he can take his place on the throne. Except not really. See, I thought it was game over, and we didn't have any more issues to come with the gates, but the city is under attack. We have to light the dragon fires to close the Oblivion Gates to save the city. This led to probably my favorite thing I've experienced in a video game for the last few years. Fighting through the city with Martin and the soldiers around to kill Atronach, Stramora, and other beasts. All while freaking Mehron's Dagon turns up in physical form, standing over the city, laying waste to anything he can get his hands on. Martin says all's not lost. We just have to... We just have to get through to the dragonfires and let Martin sacrifice himself to take the form of Akantosh, the dragon god of time, to fight Dagon in an epic titan-sized battle. I do wonder how that looks in the original. That was way cooler than Alduin's death in Skyrim for sure. The quest tracker reads, Martin shattered the Amulet of Kings and transformed himself into an avatar of Akatosh, the dragon god of time. In dragon form, he banished Mehron's Dagon to Oblivion and ended the Oblivion crisis, and then vanished. Whether he's dead or has ascended to join his ancestors Tiber Septim, no one knows. I'm named the champion of Cyrodiil, and it's currently unknown how we'll decide a new emperor. But the set of Imperial dragon armor has supposedly been commissioned to me, so that's nice. I spent some time selling things up and sorting my inventory.
When the next Elder Scroll is written, you shall be its scribe.
I'm glad we still have plenty of time left in the video, because he said we won't get the armor for 2 weeks yet. I did get the last few furnishings purchased for my home on day 39. It still looks like a dump here, but it's my first home and I'm happy with it. There's some nice new pictures on the walls. It's cozy. Chilling out right now, just exploring more of the game. Fighting bandits and exploring caves. I'll get into another quest line while we wait on that armor soon. Ooh, I did find some elven armor. It looks awesome and has more defense than my mithril armor I was wearing while still being light armor. Also managed to get my armorer skill to the point where I can repair enchanted items all by myself without the help of merchants who can repair them for me. Alright, I think I want to try to join the Thieves Guild and see what we can get up to with them. I did have something small spoiled. It's that the wanted posters you can find and interact with are linked to the guild. I couldn't find one in my hometown. I remember seeing them in the Imperial City, so I'll go over there. It took about 2 seconds to spot one. And then I realized I already had a quest called Finding the Thieves Guild from a while ago. We have to go to the Garden of Dariloth and wait until midnight. Going through the city to the garden, we find this guy, along with an Argonian and an elf. The two latter are along with me, seeking membership. And it's a race to steal a diary. Running through the city neck and neck with the elf, I forced my way through the locked door that houses the diary and just barely got to the diary before her. I'm in! But says he doesn't have anything special for me yet, and to steal 50 gold worth of items and to sell them to fences to contribute to our stash, and then return to him. I broke into a home in town and got to work. I got some stuff and sold it to a fence in Bruma and completed the task. My special mission is to untax the poor by stealing the tax records in the Imperial city and find out where they have been keeping the taxes so the guild can return it, which was very easy actually. I went into the south watchtower in the city and sneaked around to the top where I found the records in this desk. I should return and hand the records in. And I did. I gave them over, and now I'm to steal and sell 100 gold worth of stolen items before he has another special task for me. Spent some time in Bruma doing just that, breaking into homes, forcing locked chests open, and selling the goods to a fence. For some reason, the Thieves Guild guy wasn't showing where the markers are at. I wasn't sure if he only showed up when it was dark or at midnight, but passing time, it looks like he's not turning up today. Spotted some alien ruins on the compass I wanted to explore while I waited. It was guarded by a conjurer, and I honestly think the crashes I'm experiencing are something to do with the paralyzing arrow perk. When it crashes, it's normally because I've downed an enemy and proceed to place another arrow into them while stiff. But then again, I think it was happening before I got the perk. It's just what I'm noticing lately. It's like gotten more frequent. This ruin was interesting, but I had no idea what to do here yet. There was just skeever and mud crabs to kill. They'd fall into a pit of spikes too. Well, I was dropped, I guess. But at the end, there was this person called Umbra in pretty awesome looking gear. She didn't have anything I could say to her. Maybe I'm supposed to kill her, or maybe I'll be sent back here later. I'll hold off getting the assault charge for now. There he is. I did look online to see what people were saying about him not being here, and most people were saying just to stand around at midnight for long enough and he'll just walk up. So maybe I was impatient there. He wants me to steal a bust of the recently slain Countess of Cheydinhal. Over to that city we go. Now, I thought I did a pretty good job here. I had to sneak into a chapel of Arcay in town and down into the Undercroft. However, I had no lockpicks to open the locked door. No biggie. This guy has the key, so picking his pockets real quick, I'm down there in no time. There's a guard we have to avoid. Watching her routine and picking the right time to go down the left corridor was easy enough. Grabbed the bust and snuck back out. The guards at the Imperial City are now all over the area. I normally meet the guild member guy, so he won't show here today. They're looking for the bust I stole, suspecting he has something to do with it. But here's the thing. There was never a request outside of the guild to steal the bust. I found out talking to the Elfry race that one time that it was apparently a plan to flesh out an informant that infiltrated the guild. It worked. The informant is to have the bust theft pinned on them. Having no lockpicks is now a problem with me trying to get into her home though. Where's Shady Sam at? There he is. 30 lockpicks, please, Sam. I made the mistake of quick saving just after getting a bounty on me, getting caught trying to open the lock. I just paid the 5 gold bounty. Surprisingly enough, when they took my stolen items like they do when you get arrested, they never found the bust. Let's try that again. Ran on over to that pesky door, forced it open because I don't do the minigame that much. I totally should. It would save me lockpicks learning. The lady we're setting up is in bed, so we have to sneakily put the bust in here. There's a chest I want to sneak on over. Busted 5 lockpicks trying to get in and only got 1 gold in the box. Yeah, I really need to start doing it properly. Now to report her to this guy.
Your credibility is suspect.
I did have to raise his disposition as high as I could before he'd believe his informant had the bust, but I got that. He's under arrest and the guild is in the clear. The quest objective updated to say, unfortunately, I'll have to wait until the next midnight for the guild guy to turn up. It's 2 a.m. I did wait a bit to see if he would show up today, but nothing. Guess it's another day exploring alien ruins for me. I'm not gonna complain. Did get my marksman mastery increased, so now I have a great chance to paralyze my opponents. Waiting on him to show at midnight, but when he does, he says he only handles new recruits, and from now on, I'm to talk to someone in Braville. I can find her at the Lonely Suitor Lodge there. It's nice, working from home. I'm not sure if this is permanent, or if she'll send me to someone else eventually, but I'll make the most of my time here. Dropped off potion ingredients and went to chat with the guild member who wants me to sell 200 gold worth of stolen goods to a fence before getting my next special task. I know one of the rules of the guild is to not steal from other guild members, but I got right to work doing just that. Started with this house the Khajiit's staying in. I went to a fence in Leyawiin on day 49, but the door was locked and I didn't want to trespass. I went here because I'd not had a marker to this one yet and wanted to check it out. But nope, Back up to Bruma to sell things to Ongar. Got 200 gold worth of stolen goods sold, and back to the Khajiit we go. And back I went. I told her I want a special job, and was told I'm to help out a widow of a former fence in Leyawiin by helping her get her ring back from a street scavenger. It has sentimental value and is offering a reward for its return. This one had me running around the town like crazy, talking to beggars to get information, and led me to a prison where I'm trying to get access to an Argonian cell. Bribed the guard to allow visitation and went to talk to the ring thief that got himself locked up. Gave him a lockpick in exchange for the ring's location. Says the ring was used as a ransom to the Countess, but she tricked him and he was arrested for the theft, and she kept the ring. The Countess is in her castle. The ring should be there too. Stole a key from this person to get further into the castle, but I had no lockpicks for this next door. And the keys I stole weren't working. Sam, I need 30 more lockpicks. Now, this was probably me being stupid, but this was absolutely the worst part of the playthrough for me so far. It was, like I said, all self-caused. I was so all over the place for this one. I struggled to get through to the ring without getting in trouble. You have to kind of time things, because she doesn't put the ring in the lockbox until certain times of the day, while she showers or sleeps. There's different ways to do it, like going through a dark dungeon area of the castle to get through to her room, but I ended up snatching the ring by forcing the lock, getting caught while taking the ring, and just legged it out. Maybe I'm not cut out for this thief business after all. Paid the bounty and got searched for stolen items, but they didn't find the ring, just like the bust earlier, so all's good. Gave back the ring to the widow, and I'm glad to be done with that quest. Ooh, my Imperial dragon armor's ready. I was just thinking when I should go back to see about getting that. Real quick, turning into the guild, I got promoted to the Prowler rank, but we have a problem. The guy we reported the bust lie to earlier has invaded the Imperial City waterfront with guards. He's vowed to not leave until our leader, the Grey Fox, is in custody. He says the fox is safe, but we can't do business while the waterfront is like it is. First, let's go grab that dragon armor. It's in the armory, waiting for us to pick it up in the Imperial City. There it is. Lots of stuff in here I can take. Oh, it's light armor. Some reason I was expecting it to be heavy, and wow, it's all enchanted with resistance to things like fire and frost. We are switching to this for sure. I'm looking good too. Let's go sort the guild's problems. Plan is for the guild to commit crimes across the city, forcing Lex to redistribute the guards at the waterfront back to a nice spread all over the city. My job was to steal a staff from the Arcane University, which was easy enough. Had to eavesdrop on the knob, but there was so much noise here. Didn't know what was going on.
Fox is hiding nearby. What can you tell me? What do you know about
send a found Daedric to
deliver a simple
what do you know about?
I'm back in my hometown, but the Khajiit's not got her door unlocked.
You have the eyes of a trained marksman.
Thank you, ma'am. Did hardly anything worth mentioning and came back when it was light out. She promoted me to the cat burglar rank for the waterfront work. I also have a new fence I can use in town, so that's nice. And you wouldn't believe it, but she lives directly on top of my house. This is great. Bribed her into having better disposition, and you know what? I've not done much training in Oblivion. I'm assuming it works the same as it does in Skyrim, so now that I have some spare gold laying around, I'll take 5 levels of light armor from her. Sold stolen gear and went back to the Khajiit for my next task. She wants me to get my hands on a book that's special to the guild. The Grey Fox has even been hunting for it personally, so let's go find it. Skingrad is where the trail starts. Asking around about it takes me to the city prison, where I actually picked up a new job. 2 gold a week, plus half a loaf of bread, and a glass of mead each day. All to deliver slop to the prisoners. I'll take it. I needed the job to get past the guard in the prison, so we can see where all of the prisoners are being taken that disappear from the prison. A vampire had been dragging them off to do God knows what to them. One of the surviving prisoners had a message to give to the Thieves Guild if he ever got out of here. I helped him regain his freedom by sneaking him out and was given the message.
Look under the bush near the well, behind Rastarel's house. I was gonna take it for myself, but I owe you a great debt. You should take it.
Perfect. There's the book we needed. Ended in the book and was told to work on fencing more items for gold before my next special job. I fenced a lot of stuff today. While I was looking for where the prisoners were being taken by that vampire earlier, I found a wine cellar and stole like every single bottle. Made nearly 1,000 gold, selling it all to the fence. Right, it's time to remove that Lex fella from the Imperial City Guard so he's not causing so many problems. I had to head for Anvil and sneak around the castle to steal a list of candidates to help decide a new captain of the guard over there. I'm to forge the documents and have Lex be at the top of the list of candidates, so he gets the job and is out of the guild's way on the other side of the map. I found a forger in Anvil, but he'll take a day to change the list of candidates, so we gotta come back at some point after 5 p.m. tomorrow. So killing time exploring caves and other areas around the city until then. I guess we're not going that way. This cave was dead. Not a breathing thing in sight that wasn't me. I finally hit level 20 today too. I'm leveling up very slowly lately with how high most of my main skills are. I'm back, stranger. Gave him his 500 gold fee and got the forged documents. Now over to the Imperial City. To sneak into the Legion's offices to borrow the Legion's seal to stamp the forged documents. Finally over to Anvil to hand them over to the lady in charge. She says I'm to go let Lex know about his new job immediately. This Lex guy has a personal vendetta going on against the Grey Fox after getting shown up by him ages ago.
I am bound by duty and honor to obey this order. After all these years, he's finally won.
Later that day, I get promoted once again to the Shadowfoot rank, and I'm told she has no more jobs for someone of my skill, and that the Grey Fox himself is rumored to call on me soon. I'm to wait on contact from him. The quest tracker says being in the Imperial City will give us the best chance of getting a message from the Grey Fox, but I'm really not sure what I'm looking out for. Spent some time in basically every area in the city. I'm sure I missed what I was supposed to be keeping an eye out for, but it's all good. I was stealing from homes and trading with my new fence in Anvil while I waited. Ended up checking Google. Yep, spoiled it for myself, but it's fine. Waiting at the waterfront in the Imperial City will do it. Just waiting for the elf to approach me and tell me where to find the Grey Fox. He's waiting for me in a house at Bruma. Jumping around rooftops is very satisfying with my acrobat stuff being so high.
I see you got my message.
Famous Grey Fox. He has a task for me. He wants me to steal an item hidden away in a remote monastery. The monastery, he says, is extensive and well guarded. The item we're after is called Sevilla's Stone, and it will give us some sort of advantage with something. No idea. The monastery is up near Azura's shrine, so we'll go from there. Coming up on the monastery now, but the doors are all locked, and I have no lockpicks. Figured the monks might come out in the morning, so I waited. And they did. There was one called Brother Holger that had 2 different voices going on. Kind of creepy.
I really shouldn't be telling you this. The blind monks in the catacombs guard the stone. Don't tell Heridi I said anything. I could be banished for telling you.
Okay, I'll show you. But only because you are my dear friend.
He told me all about the stone being down in the catacombs and took me to where the trail starts. I had to sneak around stealing keys from the blind monks to get around. I wasn't sure if I was to bump into one, I'd get in trouble for being in here, so I just avoided getting heard or felt. The keys led me to a darker part of the monastery with skeletons and whatever the heck this thing is. Maybe I wasn't supposed to attack it, but I panicked. Leave me alone. It's dead and we can grab the stone I came here for. Now to just sneak back out and get over to Bruma to talk to the Grey Fox. Who's happy and says I need to fence more items to equal 700 gold worth of stolen goods sold. But leaving the shack, I've already completed that task. But I'm not allowed to go back in to talk to him, I don't think. My objective says to once again wait for a message from the Grey Fox. So, over to the waterfront, and I'll just stand around here for a while. Until the Argonian we saved in Castle Skingrad turns up. He's sorted himself out and vowed to join the guild after his rescue. He's gone as far as being trusted by the Grey Fox to deliver messages around for him, so that's good. I'm now to meet the Grey Fox at a house in Chorrol, by the looks of things.
My work with Sevilla's Stone has revealed that I need something special for my plans.
That something special is a small item being held by a powerful court wizard. It's called the Arrow of Extraction. Extrication. Yeah. It has a key-shaped head. We can find the wizard in Breville, my hometown. Most of these quests with the guild have me starting off chatting to the homeless people around towns to see if they have any information. This one says the court wizard has some sort of secret passage going to the wizard tower outside the town and seems to think he'll keep all of his treasured items there, not in the castle. So I head for the castle. Steal the keys to the castle grounds from the leader of Breville and open the door to the corridors where I can find the wizard's room. But after finding the secret passage hidden behind this wall, I find a locked door and my keys I stole don't work on it. I might have been being silly here, but I couldn't find a key for the passageway door and I have no lockpicks. So I went to Shady Sam again. Lockpicks are my true enemy in this game, not the Oblivion gates. I always have so many of them in Skyrim, but I can't seem to get enough of them in this game. Oh, I'd also found this chameleon ring at some point and never looked into using it, but it seems like something that would hugely help my build. Getting to sneak around somewhat invisible, but not fully. NPCs can still detect me, it's just 20% harder for them. And back to the locked door. I'm gonna try really hard to not just spam auto attempts from now on. I did start to figure out how to do the locks easily in this location, to be fair. But I did get massively stuck here. See, there was this stupid locked door that requires a key to enter, and it wasn't lockpickable. I tried hunting the key down and killing mages in the secret area to see if they had a key, but nope. There was this massive waterway that I figured would have a tunnel past the door, but I was in this section for over half an hour trying to find where to go. Until I finally found a little hole in the deep water cave that took me nicely past the locked door. I ran past a lot of enemies, bringing me to a shootout with about 50 enemies, including the court wizard at the end. Luckily, there's a nice platform I can jump to at the top of this tower to cheese the enemies nicely. Peeking, taking shots, and hiding when I need to. Took out the wizard, along with his Atronach buddies, and looted the arrow with a key-shaped head in this loot box. Let's get out of here. And back to the Grey Fox.
This arrowhead advances my plan to... never mind. I may have need of you again in the near future if my plans hold.
Leaving the shack after returning the arrowhead, we immediately complete the objective to sell 800 gold worth of stolen goods, with me having previously sold a colossal amount of wine. So we're to wait for the next message from the Grey Fox at the Imperial City waterfront. The message is taking me to Cheydinhal, where he wants me to steal the boots of Springheel Jack. Still got no clue what this is leading to. Legend has it the famous thief died 300 years ago and was buried with the boots on. I had to find where he was buried. The Earl of Imbel is the only descent of his line the Grey Fox has been able to locate. He lives in the Imperial City. I went looking around his home. Ended up struggling in the catacombs of the building, so I just led the enemies down there into the streets for the guards to deal with. Finding Daedric gear on these enemies. It's all heavy armor, and I'm trying to stick with light armor, so I'll just sell them. It's a nice chunk of gold. Found out while looting the coffin of Springheel Jack that the boots weren't buried with the thief. I was attacked by the Earl, who was wearing the boots. The guards in the city killed him for me, allowing me to take them for the Grey Fox.
Capital. This may be the last piece of the puzzle.
Waited once more for another message from him at the waterfront, and here in the Imperial City in Orfrello's house, he reveals all of these items we've been stealing are to be used to pull off a heist, to steal an Elder Scroll. Not for profit, but for glory, and to make the guild's name a legend. Now, this next part had me lost a little bit. I was just kind of following the markers, not paying too much attention, but I had to sneak into an area in the Elder Council chambers to activate this glass of time. Now, it looks like a door to somewhere called the Old Way in the Imperial sewers should have opened. Down here was a bit of a puzzle, fighting enemies and activating turn wheels to open new doors to progress ahead. I found the Old Way and proceeded to pull off the most sloppy heist of the century. I was killing enemies until I bumped into a dread zombie that I still have no idea how to do good damage to, and I just ran past everything in my way. Speed ran through all of the underground areas until I got to some Ayleid ruins. Used the key-shaped arrow to reveal a secret passage to the Imperial Guard quarters. The quest objective menu suggested I keep hidden here, but I didn't. Got spotted, running around like a headless chicken, and chased all the way to where the Elder Scroll's kept. No idea what's going on here, but I sat down on a chair, was given the Elder Scroll.
I present to you the Elder Scroll you requested.
And escaped down a chimney chute in a bedroom. The fall, I think, was supposed to be made softer using the Springheel Jack boots, but I ate that fall like a champ without them and made my way through the sewers. When I resurfaced, I just paid off my bounty and had all of my stolen goods confiscated. All but the Elder Scroll. You morons. This is how my attributes are looking, by the way, if you're curious. Leveling has slowed significantly lately, like I said, but that's okay. I'm just about wrapping up the Thieves Guild questline. Handing over the Elder Scroll to the Grey Fox, he now wants me to give a ring to someone in Anvil and report to him how she reacts. Turns out this is the Grey Fox's wife. So the Grey Fox cowl that he wears, from what I understand, basically makes you be seen as a different person. You take on the fame and infamy of the Grey Fox while wearing it. The Grey Fox got cursed for stealing Nocturnal's cowl, but he used the scroll to rewrite history and break the cowl's curse. The entire storyline has been about the fox having you do all of this work so he can return to his wife. I tried reading up on what's going on here because I was a little confused myself, so I might have gotten that a tad wrong, but that's the rough idea, what I understand. The item itself now belongs to me, and it's very useful. Any crimes committed while wearing the cowl are attributed to the Grey Fox, rather than the character wearing the cowl. Wiki says every time you put the cowl on, your bounty is set to 500, and your infamy is set to 100.
You're wanted dead or alive, Grey Fox. This will be easier if you're dead.
When you take off the cowl, your stats return. You can rack up a huge bounty as the Grey Fox, which only is active when the mask is on, enabling players to go on crime sprees, essentially consequence-free, since they can just remove the mask. Now that we've beaten the quest line, we get access to a new house. It looks massively nicer than the one I purchased some time ago, but I'm not sure I want to move my stuff here. I'm attached to my not worth a damn house. Spent practically all of day 68 doing alchemy things, collecting ingredients around towns and purchasing them from merchants. Even got alchemy up high enough where we can see all of the effects you can use ingredients for, so that's nice. Alright, I heard from an NPC somewhere in the Imperial City that the Dark Brotherhood's in this game, and they contact murderers while they sleep to recruit them. So, I killed a pirate. After I heard that Brotherhood name drop, I did see online somewhere that you'd have a little pop-up on the top left of your screen after the first murder saying I'm being watched or something, but I didn't get that after killing the pirate for some reason. So I smacked an Imperial watchguard into oblivion. That time, it worked. Now I guess we sleep, and there is the Dark Brotherhood recruiter.
Your work, your deathcraft, pleases the Night Mother, and so I come to you with an offering.
The offering, or rather the opportunity, is to join the Brotherhood by carrying out a kill on someone at the Inn of Ill Omen, along the road north of Breville, by my hometown. Despite being given the guy's name I had to kill, I opened fire on the first person I saw at the inn, thinking it was him. It wasn't. That guy's name is Mannheim Molehand, and the guy I have to kill's name is Rufio. He's sleeping downstairs and died with just one shot to the noggin. I slept in that very corpse's bed to have Lucian contact me once more.
So, the deed is done. How do I know this? You will find that the Dark Brotherhood knows a great many things, for you are now part of the family.
I'm now a part of the family, and I'm to go meet my siblings at Cheydinhal in an abandoned house near the east wall and enter its basement to find the black door. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. I'm in Cheydinhal, heading for the house in question. This looks to be the place. Oh, that door is impressive. I like it. Gave it the passphrase and headed on in. Met with Orchiva, the mistress of the sanctuary, who told me to talk to the man that handles the assignments for new members. I was given some shrouded armor that has some nice enchants on it. Sure, I'll wear it for now. I'll fit in a little bit better with it. Went looking for traders in here and met with this Khajiit to buy from and sell to.
You've got yourself a deal, idiot. Now I can sell it for 5 times its worth.
I love this guy already. New favorite NPC, easily.
Just take your trinkets and go.
Hit up the assignments guy, who is bald, by the way. Which is fine, but keep that in mind for later, because he's not later. I'm to assassinate a pirate called Gaston at the waterfront of the Imperial City. He didn't die as quickly as the last one, but my paralysis powers kept him down, making it easy to kill him.
Captain Tussaud, are you all right, sir? We heard a clamor, Captain.
Crap.
Where are you?
I've been rumbled. His shipmates slapped me around a little, making me have to kill him again. But I managed to flee and escape quickly the second time around. Got back to Cheydinhal to report my success to a no longer bald vampire who was given my next target.
Excellent.
We're off to the city I once protected from the great Oblivion Gate to now assassinate one of its people. How far this hero's fallen. Actually have a bonus I can get if I make it look like an accident too. Sneaking into the home of the target, we can sneak into a crawl space upstairs. Wait until 8 PM onwards, where he rests in a chair. And then loosen these mounted head fastenings to have the mounted head fall onto him, making it look like an accident. I snuck out of the house through the basement because there was someone else in here. I didn't want them to spot me. I'm out. Let's get back to Cheydinhal. And I did. I got my gold reward and was given my next hit. The hit is on the dark elf that was in the cell opposite me right at the beginning of the game. If I do it and don't kill any guards along the way, then I'll get my bonus. I went to the sewers I escaped from way back and made my way through. I once left here evading assassins. Now, I am the assassin. There were guards patrolling, but I did manage to sneak past all of them and back to my old cell.
I have to admit, I'm going to miss you, Dreth. The late-night beatings, your pitiful little cries for help.
The dark elf was still locked up, getting mocked by a guard. The guard walked off. I opened his cell and stuck his frail body with just one arrow to take him down. Then, found the key to the cell on a table. I did that backwards. But I left undetected with the guards not having a clue what I just did. Now back at the Dark Brotherhood getting paid, I'm told the next contract is another interesting one. It's near the place the Amulet of Kings got stolen early on in the main quest line. I'm to stage a death. See, this guy missed a payment to some people, and they sent an enforcer to kill him. When the enforcer comes, I'm to stab the guy that missed the payment with a poisoned blade that won't kill him, but will make him appear dead. Then I need to run and come back in a day. So when he's found and placed in the chapel in town, I can administer some antidote that will revive him. Spent some time until then selling things and even dropped off to the house a load of items I wanted to keep. I know I just used a dagger, by the way. It felt like I had to progress the quest. It's not like I killed him. Returned to the town at 12 AM day 74 and went to the chapel and down into the Undercroft to revive Motier. His family are in this tomb and woke to seek vengeance on who desecrated their resting place, but they're very weak zombies that pose no threat to our escape. Took him to the Grey Mare where he can sort travel out of Cyrodiil. The vampire at the Brotherhood was happy with how the job went and says my time with him and his contracts is over. I'm to get jobs from the Argonian mistress from now on, and he even offers to turn me into a vampire if I want before I go. Told him to f off and grabbed a job from Orchiva. This job's to take down a skooma-addicted high elf at the Imperial city. I found his partner who was stressed over his addiction, saying she thinks he hides in an abandoned house to use the skooma. So I found the house, picked my way in, and impaled him with an iron arrow out of sight. I got a bow for my bonus. It does half as much damage as my current one, but it's got some nice enchantments on it. Will I use it for long? No idea. But I'll give it a go for the next few quests. This one's taking me to a fort. Not much of a fort, I know. But I'm here because under the fort is some people looking after their ill warlord. He's being kept alive by some powerful medicine. The contract giver wants the Brotherhood to make it look like his illness killed him, and to simply swap the medicine for some poison. I'm getting pretty good at this sneaking around business. Compared to the crap show that was the Thieves Guild questline, I'm doing much better as an assassin. Snuck past all of the warlord's friends, easy enough. Stole the medicine and put the poison in its place. He should die now, and we can leave this place once more, avoiding his friends on the way out. Easy stuff. Let's get back to Cheydinhal. The Sanctuary's mistress says the next job will be a fun one. We've been invited to a party.
Of course, you'll be killing all the other guests.
The party's going down over in Skingrad. My bonus will come from remaining undetected while killing everybody. The party is an interesting one. The doorman is in on the killings and gives me a key to leave, while everyone in here thinks we're all locked in a house hunting for a chest of gold hidden in the house. All have agreed to not leave until someone finds it, and their greed is satisfied. I popped off on all of them, somehow staying undetected. They're all a one-hit kill, thankfully. I'd never do this quietly, otherwise. The bonus reward for that one is permanent upgrades to things like my marksman and acrobatic skill. Moving right along to the next target. Oh, I got well access earlier too. I can go down there to get to the Brotherhood Sanctuary instead of going all the way through the house to get to it. I just drop down here and bam! I'm in. Anyways, the next contract is on a retired Legion officer, and I've been given an enchanted arrow called the Rose of Siphis. It's fatal to a specific person, that being the Legion officer, but he's wearing armor, and the arrow won't work properly while he's wearing it. I spent all day watching for the perfect chance to fire the arrow. He went into a shack, but he kept his armor on the entire time. Went for a swim too, but this nutjob kept his armor on through that. Figured at night he'd take it off before sleeping, but it looks like he's keeping the armor on. That guy over there isn't though. I'm not sure what's going on here. Turns out, when he takes his bath in the dirty puddle, he's supposed to take his armor off, but it's a bug I'm experiencing, according to Reddit. And he's technically armorless right now, meaning we can shoot the shots and get him murdered. Now the bonus is about sending a message to his successor. I gotta take his severed finger, with his ring still attached, over to the Imperial City prison barracks and place it in the desk of the newly promoted. The Brotherhood's not to be trifled with. Got my 400 gold and then 500 gold bonus for doing the job, and was told by letter that the dude we first met, called Lucian LeChance, has something for me in the fort, just outside the city. I snuck past every skeleton in here till I made it to Lucian.
I have been waiting for you, assassin. We have not spoken in some time, but I am well aware of your accomplishments within the Dark Brotherhood.
I'd love to have met you under better circumstances, just like Skyrim's Dark Brotherhood questline. There's a rat, but I refuse to believe it. He wants us to commit purification and to kill the entire sanctuary. He says there looks to have been a rat since before I joined, so that takes any suspicion away from me, which is why I'm given the task to take everyone out. I went back, and everyone was so nice to me. Even the Khajiit.
So let's start over, shall we? I know from now on, you and I are going to be great friends.
This feels so wrong. Thankfully, I found a distraction. A side quest from this Argonian. He wants me to go to a swamp on the southern end of Cyrodiil called Bogwater. Hiding there, I'll find an Argonian shadow scale named Scartail. I'm to kill the renegade and bring his heart as proof of the deed. I'll happily do it to avoid killing everyone here, for now. I'm just wasting time. Maybe it's not supposed to feel wrong, purifying the sanctuary, but it does. There's the Argonian. This new bow I got turns these fights into an explosion of color. I like it, but I'm probably putting it away and switching back to my old bow next time I hit up my house. Got the heart, and gave it to my Argonian brother, and did whatever I could to delay killing my friends. Asked around looking for jobs, but they had nothing for me left. I resorted to checking shops for useful things that I didn't find, and dropping things off at my house in Breville. Okay, well, I'm gonna do it. My loyalty is to Siphus, not to my family. I can't be the only one that feels sad about killing them. Starting off with the mistress. She's staying stunned nicely, and nobody seems to be getting involved. She's dead. Next up is the other Argonian. I like this Brotherhood more than Skyrim's, and now I'm killing all of the members. Vampire went down third. I got an aggro from the orc and skeleton while fighting him, sadly. He went down, and then down goes the skeleton. I'm so sorry, Mr. Orc. I'm doing this out of love for Siphus. Honest. My least favorite member is this Mary lady. I'm fine with this one dying. No idea who she is. My most favorite is the Khajiit trader. I'm gonna miss him calling me a foul-smelling ape, or whatever it was. It was a member on the surface in disguise I had to kill too. Had the help from the guards with this one. That's purification complete. Lucian says I can use Shadow Man now. I've not really used horses yet. I wonder if they're as useful as the Skyrim horses. I now get contracts from dead drops though. My first dead drop is in a hollowed out stone at Hero Hill. It wants me to head for Leafrot Cave to kill a necromancer that's trying to transform into a lich. The horse is good on flat land for sure. It feels slow in water compared to Skyrim. They also seem to not freak out over fall damage as much as over there. I'm enjoying it so far. What I'm not enjoying is killing this stupid necromancer. The game crashed so many times while I was trying to kill it. I find it doesn't crash at all for ages, and then it does it about 20 times in a matter of 10 seconds. It's so bad that I tried to quick save after a few hits to save progress on his health bar. It's also risky. I might like corrupt my save, but it's fine. He's dead. I got my reward from a sack in a bush over in Chorrol, along with the next contract. I also don't know how to pronounce some of these names, like Chorrol? Is it Chorrol or Chorrol? I mean, I've no idea. This time around, I'm to take out an entire family. Yep, one of the family members is in this house in a place called Apple Watch, and this lady was something else. I took a few shots at her, and she ran out of the door in panic, before coming back in with her dukes up, and cheap shot me the f*** out. Those were some hard shots. Second time around, had her running out in the wilderness, trying to escape, but I got her. The rest of her family is scattered all over the map. I got who I thought would be the easiest out of the way first. One hunter, chilling in a cave. He stood no chance. Then someone running an inn called the Drunken Dragon. He had an officer watching nearby and took my side some reason. I'll take it. I can't begin to explain how much joy jumping on people's houses has brought me in this game. Doing this is one of my biggest time sinks in the 100 days. These next two family members are in cities, so I thought they would be harder to deal with. The one in Leyawiin was easily cheesed, however, standing on a ledge on the city walls. And that leaves me with the one in the Imperial city. This one again is easily cheated out of a fair fight. But the guards did charge me 40 gold for the murder, which I thought was reasonable. Paid the bounty off right away to get back to business. Skingrad is the location of the next dead drop. At this well in a courtyard is my 500 gold and the next contract. I've been ordered to kill the Khajiit Jagasta, I don't know if I'm saying that right, who can be found at his house in Bruma. Jagasta is a master of the unarmed combat and will prove a challenging opponent. I should also be aware that Jagasta is expecting trouble and has paid off the guards to look the other way if our fight spills out into the city streets. Look at this goof. Punching his bags in his basement. Like a little bag puncher. Me and Tai Long's battle was indeed legendary. Taking my feet over rooftops, stone and snow before he was taken down, looking more like a porcupine than a feline. The next dead drop was under an old bridge, not far from the Imperial city. This one was to kill a crazy Argonian living in a cave. And this fight was more frustrating than legendary. Most of it went down in some water caves. Shadowmare died today. A couple of times, actually. The first one made me emotional for a few seconds until I seen him pop back up like The Undertaker on Friday Night SmackDown. I guess he can't die. Speaking of dying, looting a coffin at a fort gave me my next dead drop. And this kill was very, very easy. In Breville at the inn was a destruction mage.
You get any closer and I'll turn your bones to ash. Back off.
Hey, come on now. There's no need to get violent.
2 shots and the civilians here seemed to help with the kill. I pulled off another 2 assassinations from dead drops today, and I started to believe I was doing some Radiant quests that were never ending. Being fed an endless supply of quests, and I'd already beaten the quest line or something when we purified the sanctuary. But then, Lucian turned up to beat the crap out of me.
By Sithis, what have you done? What madness has claimed you? You have betrayed me. You have betrayed the Dark Brotherhood. Why?
The dead drops have been being tampered with, and I've been killing all of the wrong people this entire time. He realizes I was oblivious to the wrongful murders from the shock on my 4K face and says where to find out who's been switching them out by going to the location of the next one. And simply lie and wait to confront whoever drops off the false contract. At the lovely city of Anvil, all the way to the left of the map, the dead drop is supposed to be in a barrel behind this statue. This stupid little elf is behind it.
I don't know his name, and his face was in shadow. He called to me yesterday as I walked by the lighthouse. I think he lives there. Or he did anyway. He told me he was leaving Anvil. I'm sorry, but that's all I know.
Okay, maybe he's not really behind it. He's been made to change out the dead drops, it seems like. I'm going to that lighthouse. It's just outside the city walls. Getting the key to the cellar from the lighthouse keeper, it looks like the cellar is being rented out or something. And yeah, it's not good down here. Dead animals and people everywhere. I read a diary. I've discovered the traitor's diary. He's been in the Dark Brotherhood for years and is now a member of the Black Hand. His goal is revenge against Lucian LeChance and all of the Brotherhood for the murder of his mother when he was a child. And he actually plans on killing the Night Mother. I must return to Lucian LeChance at once at the farm called Applewatch and give him this information. Holy whiplash! They've killed Lucian LeChance. I was not expecting that. The Black Hand are here and have killed Lucian thinking he was the betrayer. This is insane. They want me to come back between midnight and 3 a.m. to do some sort of ritual with the Night Mother. Gotta wake her up for or some crap. I've only just missed out on the 3 a.m. deadline, so I'll have to come back to these knobs tomorrow. I spent some time checking in on shops around the map. Man, this just makes me mad. Screw these guys. Lucian came to murder me, realized his mistake, and attempted to find the real problem. And now look at him. I asked about the Night Mother, now that it's a more appropriate time, and we headed for Breville. The statue in the middle of town moves, revealing a trapdoor that takes us to the Night Mother.
Ah, yes, I have been expecting you. The listener now kneels by Sithis, as does his successor. There is a traitor amongst you.
The traitor is dead, dear mother. We have come now to ask your blessing. Anoint one of us your listeners so we can restore the Black Hand.
The betrayer reveals himself, killing some of the Black Hand and attempts to slash up the Night Mother. I died on my first try. And what sucks is I have to go through the 2-minute chat every death if I don't manage to quick save, and it's not really a safe place to do that. I got to a safe place behind a coffin and played support. He's dead, and I'm the new listener.
Don't you see? Our dread father foresaw your defeat of the traitor here in this very crypt. You have been chosen. You are to be my new listener.
I'm sent back to the sanctuary we purified, and my new job is to once a week go to the statue in Breville to listen in on who has prayed to the Night Mother and find out who needs our services. Taking the information to the sanctuary, we now get a cut of the earnings that really isn't that much. Maybe earlier in the game, 200 gold would have been a lot, but I'm sitting on a lot more these days. I also have a follower finally. Only took me 90 days, but one of the new initiates will follow me around, it seems. I wonder how long he'll last. About 2 seconds flat. I traveled to Breville again, and he's gone. I'm done with him already. I can't be bothered. I took a break on day 91 from actual quest lines. I just walked the road from Breville looking for trouble. I found a cave called Robber's Glen Cave, and my word, was this place stacked with loot. And not really any enemies to worry about. There were these imps, but they're really, like I said, nothing to worry about. Oh, and a Minotaur, but it couldn't get out of its room it spawned in, and was an easy target using my bow. There are chests everywhere in this cave. It might have been my luck skill, but I got so much to sell. A good few thousand gold worth of stuff for sure. Made it to the Imperial City on day 92 because I wanted to check out the arena. I'd been in the arena area, and I'd seen there's achievements on Steam for this place, so I'm assuming there's a lot going on here. You can bet on fights at the arena? I'm not a gambling man. I totally don't have 100 on yellow. Woohoo, go yellow! For reasons that aren't me betting on them. I want to compete, I think, so let's head down to the Bloodworks. I immediately met an orc that derailed my plans. He seems to believe he's of noble blood and wants me to prove it by going with a key to Crowhaven. He's unsure what the key opens. The outer area is plastered with skeletons, and the inside's not much better. Few enemies to deal with, but the key opens an old wooden door that'll lead us to a journal that reveals he spawned from a vampire. So maybe not what the Grey Prince was hoping for. He obviously wasn't best pleased, but gave me some tips on combat, raising my skills permanently. Let's go fight in the arena.
You what? You want to be a combatant?
Alright. A bit harsh, that was. The arena is pretty straightforward. We get some armor we have to use, and we can pick the weapons we take into the fight. But it's so insanely easy to deal with the fighters with our current build. They're just sort of standing in the middle of the arena, eating sneak attacks over and over. We get a few gold per fight, and as we go up in ranks and fight better enemies, we'll get more gold as a reward. I spent about 20 minutes here just running through the arena, making it to the Bloodletter rank before I went off to take a break from this place. It was just the same thing over and over again. I came back the very next day. I know, I'm terrible. I'm not sure there's much story here yet. I've been here all day now, and there's nothing. I'm hoping some story comes from it, but for now I'm happy getting these achievements. I made it all the way to the Gladiator rank before the arena closed its doors for the night. Spent day 95 back at the arena, but I think today is going to be the last day here. I fought through my opponents until we made it to the final yellow versus blue fight for me to become the champion. I had the help of a pig. This is great. Me and the pig claimed our rightful place as champions. The Grey Prince is supposedly the overall best fighter at the arena, so we have to challenge him to take on that role ourselves. I don't really want to do it, but here we are. Is this orc a terrible person? God, I hope so. He doesn't seem too bad, but he's dead. And unlike the other opponents, I'm allowed to loot his corpse and take his gear at the arena. I took it to this lady who gave me some light raiment Valafart. I don't really like how it looks, honestly. But I'll keep it in a box at my home for the memories. There seems to be more to do here. Endless fights with creatures and monsters like minotaurs, but I think I'm done here. I got a crap load of gold out of this. Oh, I did just stop recording for a minute, and I got dialogue bombed by this guy, so I missed the introduction, but he seems to be a fan of mine.
Golly, you're the best. I'm going to follow you and watch you and worship the ground you walk on. Let's go.
Sure. Hopefully he actually sticks around, unlike the Dark Brotherhood follower. 2 followers in 1 week. This game's spoiling me now that I'm running out of time. So far, so good. He passed the fast travel test, unlike the Brotherhood guy. Let's go exploring. Oh, it looks like we got a goblin ahead. Let's see how he does. Oh my god, he runs at the sight of danger. I love him. To be fair, I was a little bit worried he'd mess with my sneaky build, but if he runs, he could be a good distraction to like remove an enemy from a group to make them easier for me to kill. I'm not sure, but I didn't have to deal with that goblin, so I'll take it. I could sneak on inside. Inside were more goblins and some loot to take. Wow, the last 97 days have been rough, clearly. I started the game thinking how amazing it looks, and I'm ending it looking like this. Either way, I'm spoiling myself today. I made it to Skingrad on day 97 with hopes to buy a new home. I love my cardboard box in Breville, but I spent a lot of time saving up gold, and I want to see what the most expensive price tag for a house will get me. I had to talk to this orc about it. He gave me a job to feed slop the prisoners for that, like, 10 gold a week or something. I can't remember now. He must be confused, though, because it will cost me 25,000 gold. And even more than that, just in purchasable upgrades. I got all of the decorations for it. I went to have a look. It's very nice looking. We have a nice ground floor with plenty of room for sitting and storing stuff. Lots of display cases to put things in. I like it. A nice staircase taking us up to the second floor that's laid out pretty good. I'd live here. Oh wait, I do. Wow, the bedroom is my favorite room. It's got so much headspace. There's also a balcony to look over at the town and a basement for my adoring fan to sleep at. The only problem is moving everything from Breville to the new house. I took as much as I could for my first run, but it still feels like there's just so much to take. I guess I could just take it all and walk over encumbered to Skingrad. That would be a pain though. Day 98 was spent doing lots of back and forth between homes to move. I'd collected a lot of ingredients and items I don't want to part with. I made lots of potions, leveling up alchemy too, and I want to keep all of it. I think I'll put my valuables in this chest in my bedroom, and and my alchemy stuff can go on the ground floor in a chest by the table. I got naked too. Just so I can carry more stuff back and forth, honest. By the end of the day, I'd fully moved in and all of my stuff is here. Luckily, Breville's a neighboring city to Skingrad, so it just took a day. I think I'm gonna like it here. I got a breakdancing bug on my arrow. This is wild. I actually headed for the place where I handed over all of my gear ages ago to the Mythic Dawn to try to infiltrate their Shrine to Dagon area. I wanted to pick through them to see if I could find the guy that had my stuff. It's probably pretty rubbish stuff at this point, but who cares? I lured them outside one at a time, cheesing them taking shots from this hill. But the guy that had my items doesn't seem to be here. We made it to day 100. I had an absolute blast playing through this game finally after all these years. It's made me wish I gave it a chance sooner, but better late than never. I can't say I did much interesting for the last day. I didn't really want to start something new with not much time to get into it, so I just explored the wilderness some. There will be a part 2 if you're interested. If it's out as of the time you're watching this video, I'll link it in the description and comments. Thanks for watching. You guys take care.